Welcome back to another Voltlog video. Today we're going to be going over my process of cleaning PCBs using an ultrasonic cleaner. We'll be going over the purpose and benefits for using an ultrasonic cleaner, some safety precautions, the actual cleaning and post-cleaning process, and then we're going to be checking out the results after cleaning this example PCB. So the first question to ask is if you need to clean your PCBs at all. Well, it depends on the type of soldering you do and the products you use. There are plenty of no-clean solder wire and solder paste products, even no-clean flux. So if you use those from a chemical and an electrical point of view, you don't need to do any cleaning to your boards, as the residue left on the board won't cause any harm. However, if you happen to use products that are not no-clean, and there are good reasons to use them, because generally the better fluxes that help you during rework soldering have more active ingredients that help with better removal of the oxidation and generate a better flowing solder joint with minimal bridging between pins, then those products are just too active to be left on the PCB. Long term, they will slowly corrode your PCB copper component leads, which might lead to failure of the PCB over the years. Additionally, with extra sensitive circuits, they can generate leakage currents which are enough to cause problems in your system. And lastly, but very important for me at least, I don't like the look of this flux residue left on a PCB after soldering. So I always clean my boards no matter the type of flux that I use. And an ultrasonic cleaner can save you a lot of elbow grease, because with the right settings and cleaning solution, it is as simple as putting the board inside the ultrasonic cleaner and letting it run for a predetermined amount of time. The basic principle behind an ultrasonic cleaner is called cavitation, and this occurs when high-frequency sound waves cause rapid changes in the pressure within the liquid. Ultrasonic cleaners typically have transducers that do this at around 40 kHz, and the pressure changes create and implode countless microscopic bubbles in the cleaning solution. As these bubbles form and collapse rapidly, they generate intense energy, and when these bubbles collapse near the surface of an object being cleaned, the energy released helps dislodge and remove dirt, contaminants, and other particles from the surface. The sponsor of this video is PCBWay.com, a professional PCB manufacturer with excellent quality and fast turnaround times. From 2 layers to advanced multi-layer flex or rigid PCBs, PCBWay will have you covered. You could also try the new module store on their website, where by using bonus points or cash you can purchase a great variety of electronic modules and related tools. Check out their website linked below. Before moving on to the actual cleaning process using this ultrasonic cleaner, I feel obligated to mention a few safety precautions that will allow you to safely use an ultrasonic cleaner. And first and most important, do not run your ultrasonic cleaner dry. Ultrasonic cleaners will have an integrated heater, and they will also heat up just by simply running the ultrasonic transducers, which will lead to overheating if there isn't sufficient liquid inside the tub. Having enough liquid in here ensures even heat distribution and prevents the ultrasonic drivers from overheating during the runtime. Second precaution is to not run your ultrasonic cleaner with flammable liquids. For example, you might be tempted to put isopropyl alcohol or other flammable cleaning liquids inside your ultrasonic cleaner. And when heated up, those highly flammable liquids are very dangerous and very likely to catch fire. And can you imagine having a huge tub filled with flammable liquid that catches fire inside your small lab or home? That would be disastrous. All you need is a modern non-flammable cleaning solution designed specifically for this purpose, and you'll be running your ultrasonic cleaner in a very safe way. The third precaution is to check if the item you are cleaning is fine by being subjected to ultrasonic cleaning or cleaning while submerged in liquid. For example, if you check the datasheet of MEMS sensors, they will often mention not to subject them to ultrasonic cleaning because the tiny microscopic structures they have internally might get damaged or get out of calibration while being subjected to the action of the ultrasonic cleaner. So you really need to check the datasheets for all of the components on your PCB, although with time you do tend to recognize the ones that are problematic. I have also seen countless mechanical switches, surface mount speakers or buzzers, pressure or humidity sensors that forbid submerging them inside the liquid for cleaning. These often have open ports for measurements, and the liquid getting inside will affect their future readings. And if you'd like to share more precautions, please put them in the comments below. These are just the ones that I felt are important to start with. And maybe we can add this to the list of precautions. Use some protection for your hands when you're handling these substances, as I'm pretty sure they're not doing any good to your skin. The ultrasonic cleaner that I'm going to be using for this demonstration is the Vevor ultrasonic cleaning machine, and I do have their 15-liter model here. They also have this model in various other sizes ranging from 1.2 liters up to 30 liters. And Vevor was nice enough to send me this unit for free for the purpose of this video. As you can see, it does come in this very nice stainless steel finish. We do have a digital control panel on the front, a couple of carry handles on the sides. We have a drain on the other side, and on the back we have our IAC main socket input with a power on switch and a fuse. Removing the top lid shows us the inside of the tub, which for this 15-liter size is roughly 15 by 32 by 35 centimeters. Quite a big cleaning tub, and you also get a stainless steel basket, which can help reduce friction between the objects that you're cleaning and the bottom of the tub. Additionally, inside the package I received this quick starting guide, a mains IAC cable with the right European plug, a short plastic hose, and some accessories for attaching this hose to the drain plug on the side. In terms of specs, this ultrasonic cleaner operates at 40 kHz. It can adjust the temperature between 0 and 80 degrees Celsius, the cleaning time between 0 and 30 minutes per session. Ultrasonic power for this 15-liter model is 360 watts with 6 individual transducers, and heating power is 400 watts. And although this is a 15-liter model, I think there is actually less than 15 liters of liquid going into this, because the tank is curved on the bottom, so they also mentioned 13.5 liters as tank capacity. And if you're interested in checking out this particular model or another size, I have placed links in the description of the video to their website. There is currently also a discount code valid, so grab yourself a sweet deal before the end of the year. I also have a smaller ultrasonic cleaner. I wasn't happy because I couldn't fit larger PCBs inside this one due to limited tub size. But I think I went just a little too big with the 15-liter model. Maybe 10-liter was better, because yes, it's nice that I have this very big cleaning tank now, but I also need to put in more than 10 liters of cleaning liquid, which is pretty inconvenient for these infrequent cleaning of larger PCBs. So keep this in mind when getting yours. Don't get one that's much bigger than what you need, because it will take up more space, use up more cleaning liquid, and so on, so it's not very efficient. And now to actually run the ultrasonic cleaner, this is where you need some trial and error, because not all ultrasonic cleaners are the same, not all PCBs will have the same level of residue, and not all cleaning solutions are the same. I'll give you a few hints. For example, I'm using this Asonic cleaning liquid that I can purchase locally, and you might have access to something else, but generally it's kind of hard to ship these substances overseas, so you will be purchasing your cleaning liquid locally in most cases. And this is a concentrated solution that you're supposed to dilute 10% of this with the rest of 90% water. Just don't use tap water for this cleaning process, because it will leave residue on your boards when it dries up. It is recommended to use demineralized water or distilled water to get the best results. So in my case, I'm probably gonna put in something like 3 liters total for this demonstration. So that's 300 milliliters of this concentrate with 2.7 liters of water. And this is probably the lower limit of what I would run this cleaner with, 3 liters of liquid. Anything less, it might be 2 liter liquid to keep things running smoothly. And remember, we want the liquid to completely cover the PCB, but also to be enough in there to ensure adequate heat distribution inside the tub. couple of things to be aware about this particular unit is that it has this very loud beep for the key presses that you cannot easily disable without dismantling the machine to go after the buzzer. And also you should know that it does contain a cooling fan, which you can hear, but it's nowhere near as loud as the actual ultrasonic transducers, so I don't think that will be an issue. And another thing that we might add to the precautions list is something that you'd have to check in the material safety data sheet of the cleaning product that you are using. But since this is a heated tub, you might want to run this whole system in a ventilated area if it starts emanating various substances because they are being heated up. My cleaning solution calls for 50 to 60 degrees Celsius temperature of the liquid. We're above 50 degrees Celsius. I have the heater turned on and set to regulate at 60 degrees, but we can already start the cleaning process. And I'm gonna start with a 10-minute session. This will be my first try to see how this cleans. Then we can lower or increase this cleaning time as necessary. This is the board that we're going to attempt to clean. As you can see, there is plenty of flux residue around those solder joints, and the flux used here is the genuine Amtech NC559 V2 gel flux. And let's see how this cleans up. I'm going to put this right in the middle of our tub, like so. And through the magic of editing, 10 minutes have passed by. Now let's check out our results. And for this, please remember that now the liquid and the board are hot. They're at 60 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to use this to grab the PCB. And as part of my post-cleaning steps, I always keep a container with some demineralized water ready to take in the board coming out of the ultrasonic cleaner. And this will help clean any floating residue from the surface of the board and also rinse off the cleaning liquid. I also have my air compressor standing by and ready for drying any liquid remaining on the PCB. And here are the results. The board is immaculate. It's like it never had any flux residue on it. So it worked out really well with the particular solution, the cleaning solution that I use at 60 degrees Celsius with a 10-minute runtime. Just look at those solder joints. So I hinted that it might take only 10 minutes just based on my previous experience with running ultrasonic cleaners. This one is a more powerful model. If you would have a model with less power, it would probably need you like 15 or 20 minutes to obtain the same results. And another advantage of an ultrasonic cleaner over some manual brush cleaning, which I sometimes do myself, is that it will dislodge dirt and residue that's stuck between very fine pitch component leads or under an IC package, which you are never going to clean manually with a brush and some flux cleaner. So any cleaning done in an ultrasonic cleaner will be superior to what you can obtain through a manual cleaning process with a brush, as long as the PCB and the parts that you're using can support ultrasonic cleaning. I'm pretty happy with the results that I got. The board looks pretty clean now, but I would also like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you use an ultrasonic cleaner for cleaning your PCBs or other stuff, because this is not a product that's limited to be used with cleaning PCBs. You can use this to clean anything, your tools, jewelry, some rusted screws, anything at all. So I would be interested in hearing if you own an ultrasonic cleaner and how you use it, or maybe if you can share more tips and tricks that might improve the process that I just described in this video. As always, there will be links for this product and similar products in the description below, as well as a discount coupon that you can use to order this particular ultrasonic cleaner. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content ahead. Thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next video.